because I wanted to concentrate more on Karana Shariram, but by then the time was up, and mostly on gross and lost in gross and subtle body. Maybe
No,
even
We are doing
I'm
that,
that
yeah.
state.
We all are mostly like that, yeah. Mostly involved with grass only.
Right. Let's start with the invocation.
Hmm.
Let's do Sahana Bhavatu. Somebody wants to do Sahana Bhavatu? That is important. And then somebody do Sahana Bhavatu, then invocation of. Who wants to do?
You want to? Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Start. Somebody start with the invocation. Vasudevendra. Then we'll start with, we finish the reading, right? Completed rather, reading of Swapna. Okay, let's do the invocation first.
वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते.
Okay. Anything can we move on to the next state, or we still want to be in dream, or want to discuss more? I mean, want to be in dream means a little bit of more analysis you want to do, or should we move on to?
We'll move on to deep sleep state, Bhaiya.
So
Endeavor is eagerly waiting.
Yeah.
In fact,
I've been waiting last 2 weeks so that I can sleep.
Hurry up. Hold on.
Is everybody understood the dream properly? Because there was some question that which Swamiji has answered, I think last week.
Yeah.
About the dream state.
Right. Hope all are. Everybody
are we clear with the dream state? I think the question is that I think one thing which we may need to completely remember is, I think Manoj was also, after that he sent a message, and I'll think differently, something like that. Okay, so what is that actually intended to? When we were talking about dream, we do have a Abhimani in the state of the dream, isn't it, Taijasa? I think the Taijasa is an Abhimani, the same Jiva named as Taijasa. So Swamiji has given an example that for your wife you are a husband, for your kid you are a father. The same way, the same Jiva. In the waking state he will be Vishwa, and even in the dream state he is Taijasa, and in the deep sleep state he is Prajna. So the question there is an Abhimani and there are experiences. No one of us deny dream experiences. Anybody denies dream experiences who does not recollect the dream or something like that? I mean, Rajni ji has some, I think, comment there, but we can talk about that. But the question here is, experiences are there. There is an experiencer. The Bhoga or Bhokta is still there in the form of Taijasa. And there is a projection of the whole world, objects as well as the subject also. So the question that what I asked is that, is there any exhaustion of vasanas but Swamiji told there that in the Shastras at least there is no mention of any exhaustion of vasanas. But I want to ask every one of you here, as Manoj has told that one, we are using Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava. Based on your Yukti and Anubhava, what do you think? What do you think whether there is a Bhokta and also a projector, which is called Taijasa, the mind itself, which is projecting the whole world? From where this projection is coming, what is the material actually for the dream state? Because we just browse it, we will browse it. But this is a daily experience we are going through.
That's why
here, really
in the text also it is that Bhokta is there, right? Right? That Bhokta.
Yeah. Bhokta is there, but who is projecting it? Taijasa Abhimani is there, that who is projecting the whole world as well as the subject, who is the experiencer of it. So there is an experiencer, Bhokta is there, but Bhogya is also the same experiencer.
Right.
We can take it very easily about the Swapna. But Vedanta extends the same thing to the waking state as we go further deeper into that.
True. It extends waking state. Yes, same lessons we can take. How it is unreal, we can also extrapolate it to Jagrata Avastha, as we have seen that. Yes.
So my question is to the team, that to the group, what is your experience? What is the material out of which this dream has been projected?
So I think it is projected based on a couple of things. It's my personal opinion. One is your lived experience, and two is your imagined experience, right? I mean, it is a combination of both, and that experience also is an experience. Your imagination is your experience. You know, I imagine I'm going to be the Prime Minister of India, right? I'm experiencing it right now, even that imagination, although I know it is my imagination, right? So, and what I've physically, emotionally experienced. So I think it's a kind of a mishran of complete mixture of all that, and from that, what gets projected, I don't think that there is a pattern that you can establish. I mean, at least there are people who study the dreams and their experiences in body, out of body, and all that nonsense. But primarily, I don't see that as something that we control. Just like Rajni, I don't get a lot of dreams. You know, once I hit the bed, I wake up in the morning.
One thing is basically it's a combination of things that you have seen. You have seen a prime minister. You have seen you. So it's a combination of both. So you are making a particular incident or something with something which you have already seen.
Not necessarily. I mean, there is sometimes a.
So that is where they say in your Purva Janma also you might have seen, and those memories are also there.
Yes.
And that come to play.
Exactly.
Right.
So
maybe in this Janma not there, but it is there in your
subconscious, unconscious level. So that's exactly what I think. You know, I mean, I cannot say for sure, but there is a lot of.
I was very happy when he told no vasanas, I exhausted if you dream it out. So because I don't dream much, I was thinking I'm missing out on something I can exhaust very easily by dreaming, which I'm not doing.
No, I think
happy with the answer.
I think every living movement, something gets exhausted, something gets added up. I think based on how we live, but I have a feeling somehow that even in a dream, there is some cleansing going on. But that's just me.
Okay.
No, one thing I think you haven't really gone into the deeper thing is what I'm trying to say is your waking state or the Jagrata Avastha and the experiences in the Jagrata Avastha are the very raw material. Of course, there are other from the subconscious also, maybe from whichever the Janma it is. And there is an imagination. Imagination is also based on your waker experiences only. Any imagination, even the waking state, if we are imagining about the future, it is based on the past experience. So the mind will be projecting that one, the very imagination is also based on the waking experience. So there are two questions. One is that if you are not getting the dreams, I doubt about the waking state itself. What is happening there? Okay, I mean to say, the question is that one to each one of us to think about ourselves. My question is that the raw material is the waking state only, where we will be having all these up and downs. And if that is not there for a gnani also, what is told in the Shastras is there will be dreams. But the dreams will be that he is the Sakshi. Like in the waking state, even in the dream state also, one can be a Sakshi. It is a very, that means the Turiya Avastha, which is present in all the three states and beyond, he is in that state. That's what they are talking about. But about us who are going through the experiences that we recollect, why we cannot recollect if this is happening also, or if it is not happening, what is the reason? That is one thing. And the other thing is that if something is projected, if something is going on from my stored experiences and I am also projecting the thing, then there will be, for every action got a reaction, isn't it? There will be an exertion or a vasana that would be happening, or if it is not there, how is it possible, the projection and the experience itself? These are the two questions that which I want every one of us to reflect upon with the experience. We don't have to answer right now, but we can come back what Shastra says.
Yeah. So our whole premise is based on the beginning of the text itself. The Tatparya, the central message of Vedanta is given. What is that? The beginning of the text. The whole inquiry is based on that. On the Pramanam itself. Shastra Pramanam is saying that. Yes, what is that? What is the Tatparyam of the Shastra?
The Atman is not any of these three states.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, what are the words used? What is a particular word used? Right? Before we started the inquiry, what did we start with?
Superimposition.
Atma satyam tadanyat sarvam mityeti. That you catch hold of it. That is the fundamental principle. The basic in the mathematics, we catch hold of the fundamental principle, and then you work from there. So any questions you have, that you hold on to that, it will solve. That is the Tatparya. That is the central message. So they're saying Swapna is a mithya, right? Because there is no Uchita Desha Kala there. Uchita Desha Kala means what? There is no appropriate time and space, right? I do many things. There is a lot of time passes within that few seconds, right? And there is a big mountain within my body, but there is no space for the mountain, right? So there is no Uchita Desha Kala there. But still, I am experiencing it. The whole mountain, the whole elephant, let's say big elephant, has come within this body means what? In that Nadi, Shastra talks of Hita Nadis. So when we are dreaming, we travel through Nadis. So, okay, that is what Brihadaranyaka says. We go through Nadis. But there are people, actually the other darshanas, they say dream is also real. They don't dream as Nithya. Just
1 minute. What is the meaning of Nadi?
Nadi itself is Nadi. We can't give a meaning to okay. We say
Nadi is something that where the prana flows through.
Prana flows through. Blood vessels, you can say, or arteries.
Yes, where is prana? When you say where is prana? So actually, can you define what is prana? It's not only when you say prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, all these things, the administration functions of the body, there should be a medium that would be going on. We know scientifically all these nerves and all this system, but this is not the Vedantic way. Vedantic way is that through nadis, or the Vedic way is through the nadis.
So the other darshanas say actually you go out to experience the different place. Niagara Falls you go to experience Niagara Falls and then go back into your body, they say. There's other our own darshanas, our Nayayikas say that. Even Visishtadvaita says dream is real. Because their whole philosophy is based on that. They don't dismiss everything as mithya. Only Advaita does it. Okay? But just to prove their point, they give all these arguments.
1 second, I think Advaita says even waking is mithya.
Right. That's what we're saying.
Right so, now, our relative understanding is that waking is very persistent and we are good. Waking I can understand. Waking is real. And Swapna is mithya. Advaita is not telling that way. Advaita is telling the reality is the underlying consciousness. All other things are mithya, which are making these differences. So that is the pinnacle of understanding, which Chandrasekhar has been suggesting. But what we are doing is, go ahead.
Let's move on. So there is no Uchita Desha Kala in dream, but in Jagrat there is Uchita Desha Kala, we say. That's why it is real, that argument they give. In Jagrat, there is a appropriate time and space. Why are you dismissing Jagrat based on that logic that you are giving in the dream? There is no, that's fine, I will accept it. Fine, dream I can. But Jagrat is real for me. Is that your...
No, but that also, there is a counter argument in Advaita itself that Sakale Satyavad Bhati. While you are dreaming, it is Uchita Desha, and what you are experiencing seems to be very real. You can't deny, the dreamer won't deny the dream. Only the waker denies the dream, because for him it is not Uchita Desha Kala.
Correct.
And what Vedanta is telling is rise above, awake into that supreme consciousness, what you are. Then this also will be knowing that this Desha Kala has been relative to your Jagrata Avastha.
So what Vishwa is saying is, dream world, from the standpoint of the dreamer, it is very much real, right? So from the standpoint of the waker, it is very much real for me, this Jagrata Avastha. But we should not take the dissimilarities when we are discussing. The similarities we have to see. In dream and Jagrat, what are the similarities? I am experiencing. Even though it is unreal, I have the experience. Same thing. So that means anything experienced is unreal. Anything experienced, that is the similarity we have to take. Just like in Swapna, I experienced Swapna Padartha, Swapna Desha, Swapna Kala, but it is unreal after waking up. Same thing in Jagrat, right? Anything I am seeing, I am experiencing, that means it is unreal. That is the logic Shankaracharya uses in Karika also, right? Mandukya Karika, Vaitatya Prakranam. So use the similarities between these two, not the dissimilarities. So don't say Swapna Desha Kala might be fine, different. Even if you don't want to go there, that is fine. But use the similarities. There you are, but you are dismissing as unreal. This also you are experiencing, right? The drushyatvam is there. There in dream, here also it is there. So I dismiss it as mithya based on that. If you want logic, yukti, of course, if you want to hold on to Shastra Pramana, not all these are not required. This Shastra Pramana says it is mithya. That is enough for us actually. But if you still want to get convinced Pramanam, still we can use all these arguments. Okay? Because it is experienced, so I can dismiss. Because it is anityam, just the dream ended, started and ended, anityam, I can dismiss as mithya. Jagrat also experiences the starting, ending, the world itself starts and ends, anityam, I can dismiss as mithya. Another argument. Many arguments they give, the Shastra, in the Karika. Two of the main arguments are anityatvam drushyatva, dismiss mithya. That's it. Because I'm experiencing just like in dream. Actually, just now you said how we experience dream. Another argument they give is dream. That's what we have seen, right? Dream is what? Yad jagradavastayam, yad drushtam, yad shrutam, tad janita vasanaya. Right? That is the definition. Right? So we are saying the samskaras that we have acquired in Jagrata Avastha gives rise to dream, right? So it is not actually memory. It is not memory. Do you think dream is from the memory? Is that, if I ask you the question, what will you say?
No.
Okay, then what it is then?
I think it springs from subconscious and unconscious mind based on impressions stored over, I mean, this life, many lives, whatever the case may be, but I don't think it is, it has to, it's not from the memory. I mean.
So yeah, samskara gives us to, go ahead.
So this life or many lives, as Manoj said, impressions in the subconscious mind, those impressions are considered as memory only, no? That which come out in the form of dream. How can we say it's not memory?
Because you don't remember everything that's in your subconscious. Only when you remember, it's memory. Like it's in your RAM.
When we are right? In waking state, we call it memory.
That's on the hard drive. Yeah.
In fact, it is a combination of dream. Is always it is a combination, because in dream, if I get my wife in my dream, I will not be. It is not like Sashi. I don't recognize her as my wife. I mean, I know that. I think we are that relationship, as we know that with the experience, that we know that most of the things that which we experience daily will be the same even in the dream. Otherwise, we cannot connect when we wake up also. The thing is that there are certain other things that, as Rajni ji told before, that there are certain other things that are popping up in between. From where they are popping up, they are from the subconscious. So if the waker has to relate with the dream when he is waking up, that, hey, this is my dream, and this I understand, and this I don't.
My argument. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No. That I will stop there.
My argument is exactly that. You know why it's not memory, right? Because in your dream also you recognize yourself, right? It's not that you don't recognize yourself. There are some of my dreams where I am not there. You know, I'm just watching a cricket match or whatever that. But there are a lot of dreams where I am present, right? I recognize my.
You are always present.
I know. Yeah, even as a witness of the cricket match. Yeah, sure.
The projector of it. Yeah.
So that recognition is not necessarily, at least in my limited understanding, a memory. It is a springboard of my subconscious, where my ego also is there, right? My aham vritti, that I know my sense of agency. So I think, I mean, I think if you really think about the way you're saying it, yeah, it may be you know. Sorry. Yeah.
1 minute. I have Googled now. What is the definition of memory? Faculty by which mind stores and remembers information. So it is the faculty. So I am with Aparna. When I say memory is something, it is just a faculty.
Google.
And when you bring it back, it is called memory recall.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
So it need not be something that you always know. So I am with Aparna when she says what has happened when you have it. Those are memories, but maybe they faded. Sorry.
That's a nice dial tone.
So that's what I think.
Okay, there is a subtle difference between, of course, we can't say is Swapna a remembrance of the real Jagrat Prapancha? We can debate, but Shastra says no, because samskara causes memory, smriti, definitely fine. Smriti, because when something is not in front of me, I remember, right? So there's a smriti, there is a recognition, as Manoj has used a word, recognition. I cognized before. Now I'm seeing all of you. I cognized you last week. I'm seeing all of you. I'm recognizing you now because I have seen you last week. Right? So that is called Shastra Pratyabhigna Pratyaksha. That is another result of samskara, vasana. So vasana has three. It gives three types of results. One is smriti, memory. Other is pratyabhigna pratyaksha, which is when you're front of me, I recognize you. Like a recognition, pratyabhigna. Third one is adhyaya, error, brahma. It is not really a knowledge. It is a knowledge maybe, but it's erroneous knowledge. That's why, just like in the Jagrata Avastha, I see, because of ignorance, I see snake, right? I see snake because of ignorance. Same thing. Because of avidya, in dream, I am projecting things. The vikshepa is happening. So that is Brahma, that is Adhyasa, that is not Smriti, that is not Pratyabhigna. So there is a subtle difference. It is not memory. As per Shastra, dream is not memory. It is Brahma knowledge. It is Adhyasa, misconception. It is vikshepa. So it is not really a recollection or memory from the Jagrata Avastha. So once that is established, then I can dismiss it as unreal. Because
can I make one point there?
Yeah.
The question is, the recognition is from, there is a stimulus that is coming from our sense organs. There is a cognition of anything in the world. And from the smriti, we are doing a recognition and thereby forming that one, okay, this is so-and-so experience. Based on that one, that I am knowing that one, this is so-and-so thing, which I'm seeing directly right now. I'm looking at Manoj, okay, he might be having full hair and all at that time, but now also I can recognize, okay, I can recognize because by looking at him, yes, this is the same guy, and okay, I'm recognizing. This is in the waking state. But dream state, it is not Brahma. I don't agree with that. Brahma is something that which is not there and you are projecting, but it is Sakale Satyavat Pati in the sense that while the dreamer, for the dreamer, it is as if that he is cognizing and recognizing it in the dream. You saw suddenly that somebody knocked on the door in the dream. You opened the door. Okay, and your old friend, he has been standing there. Hey, you welcomed him and you hugged him and you took him. This is a dream, what I'm talking about. So the same you, the same mind has been projecting and cognizing, recognizing without all these sense organs, without any connection to the body, without going through into the world. It has been projecting the world, projecting your friend, projecting yourself, and cognition is also happening. All these are happening. The question is that one, from where, wait a second, where it is coming from where actually your friend has been projected, you have been projected, from where it is it from the memory, is it, as we know that the mind has been divided into four, isn't it? Four functional aspects. I think in Tattvabodha, it might not have been come at. It is like what we know that about the mind, manas, and
Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. Okay, but that's fine.
So,
okay.
Wait a second. The Chittam is the store of your experiences.
True, true.
Okay. So, but what is the Chittam? We don't pay attention. We are getting confused with the modern science, which is called memory, the long-term memory, short-term memory, and the subconscious memory or conscious memory. These are the words that which we use colloquially right now. But Vedanta and the Vedic science thinks of these 4 aspects of the mind. Is it from the Chittam or not? Yes, it is from the Chittam only. But
It is
also,
not just like in the waking state. I have seen snake before. I have some experience in the zoo park, some snake experience. So I have projected it on the rope. That is why I'm calling it as Brahma. That is Adhyasa. Same thing in the dream when I say Brahma, that Brahma Jnanam, not Prama Jnanam. Prama Jnanam is real knowledge. It is Brahma Jnanam. That's why we say. We are projecting things like which I just have projected because of my previous experience of the zoo park snake. In the Jagrada Avastha, I projected a snake on the rope. That's what I'm saying. In the dream, we call it,
that is
don't
same
call
in
it
the
Smriti.
state also.
We don't call it Smriti in dream. We don't call it Pratyabhigna in dream. We call it Brahma or Adhyasa. That's what our Advaita Acharyas say in other texts, other advanced Vedanta texts. For simply to understand, yes, memory is also to use it, okay, but you can proceed. Let's not, if it is hair splitting, let's not.
Yeah, I think we always separate Eastern philosophy, Western philosophy and all that, but Rajni bowled a googly with Google.
So that is a subtle difference. It is not really memory as per Vedanta. It is not Smriti, it is Brahma Jnanam. Let's proceed. I mean, let's not do head splitting here. Okay, just one.
Yeah. Smriti in the sense you are not putting an effort to recollect that one. You are not getting any sensual perception here. That's where Vedanta does not say the problem with, I think we need to be very clear about the Shastras. Unless otherwise, Shastra doesn't tell everything very clearly. Shastra will indicate. That's why there are many bhashyas, many different acharyas telling the same thing with many different ways. So what we need actually, we as a study group are also, what we are doing is we are correlating it with the Shastra Anuvada or Shastra Anusarana Tarka, that where we are not dividing from there, but we are trying to find out that what is my experience to validate it. If we are not doing that one, then it is not called Vichara. Like our objective study, we are just increasing our memory. We can reproduce it, but we never can assimilate it, if that makes sense.
Any comments, anybody? So finally, the moment you wake up, nothing is really relevant. So whether you dreamt that nothing is relevant when you wake up. So even in Jagrata Avastha, as somebody said, once you're in Turiya, even this is not relevant. Okay. Okay. So example of dream is an illustration they use in Shastra to dismiss Jagrata as real, because something experienced as real is in fact unreal. Something experienced in dream as so much real is in fact unreal. So that is used as an illustration, as an example. Okay. Shall we move on? Good discussion. We got some nice points today.
I really like the discussion. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Deep sleep. Shall we move on to deep sleep now? Because everybody loves deep sleep. Nobody says, oh, today also I have to sleep. We don't sleep. Right? So we all love deep sleep. We don't say today also have to go to work, we say. But today also have to sleep. Because why? We will see. The reason we will see now. Okay.
But so, can you go into deep sleep by will?
No.
Okay.
I think I can will differently. There are some helpers, but that is different.
Yeah. If we understand these 3 states, that is the difference between the modern science and Vedanta. Vedanta takes the totality of these three states to understand our own self. And in all other philosophies and all, only the waking state has been taken as the reference. So that's where we need to be cautious about when we are really going through these things, not to increase our memory, to go through consciously what is really happening to us in this state. As a waker right now, what I can recollect about that state. And that vichara is essentially transforms us. And all these pointers are to that one who is doing that inquiry, not to expand the memory.
Yeah, somebody read. Start.
अथ सुषुप्तावस्था का अहं किमपि न जानामि सुखेन मया निद्रानुभूयात् इति सुषुप्तावस्था कारणशरीराभिमानी आत्मा प्रज्ञा इत्युच्यते.
Prajna ityuchyate.
Prajna ityuchyate. Then what is the deep sleep state? That state about which one says that I did not know anything, I enjoyed good sleep, is the deep sleep state. The self identified with the causal body is called prajna.
Prajna.
Prajna. The self identified with the
Prajna
causal body is called
there,
prajna.
It is prajna.
Yeah, I think I see the mark. Yeah, so it is prajna. When one gives up identification with the gross and subtle bodies and identifies only with the causal body, one is said to be in the deep sleep state. In that state, one experiences the absence of all objects, emotions, and thoughts. When one wakes from it, one says, I did not know anything but the experience of happiness. I slept well. This memory of having slept well or otherwise proves the presence of I, the experiencer, even in the absence of the world. Hence, the joy experienced is the one's own true nature. Due to ignorance, we do not know this, and so we awake as ignorant as ever, looking for joy in the world of objects yet again.
Continue.
In the waking state, I identify with the gross body and become the doer and enjoyer. In the dream, I identify with the subtle body and become the enjoyer of the dream world. In the deep sleep state, there is neither the doer of the actions nor the enjoyer of the world. In the absence of thoughts, there is no concept of time, space, and duality. Hence, I cannot say how long I slept or where I was in sleep. I think it makes sense to continue remaining two paragraphs.
Continue one more paragraph.
In the waking and dream states, I know I exist, but I do not know my true nature. I take myself to be the gross and subtle bodies and the waking and the dream worlds to be real. In the deep sleep state, I am ignorant of my true nature and also of the world. Except for the awareness that I exist, there is total ignorance, and therefore the individual is called prajna. Prajna, ajna, one who is more or less ignorant.
Prayena ajnaha.
Prayena ajnaha. One who is more or less ignorant.
Prayena. More or less. Bahusha, lecture. Prayena. In Sanskrit, prayena. Okay. So this gives these three paragraphs we can discuss if you want. Then go to the next one.
Yeah. So what I understand is because I mean we already analyzed the gross body and the dream state and all. So the reason why deep sleep is we can only know about the deep sleep state after we wake up. right? So this is the state wherein we do not have any thoughts, we do not have any experiences, we do not know where we went. So it is like the true self. We are going close to that true self, but we will not know that we went into that true self state. But like we are going there, it seems. So once we wake up, maybe we will know that like I had a good sleep, and that experience of having the good sleep is a result of that, like going pretty close to that self state. So for me, it is like kind of another pointer which says that your waking state and the dream state are still irrelevant here, but the deep sleep state, you are at least going close to that real self. But because you are not holding on to that, you are waking up again, and you are again enveloped with your ignorance, and so you're again getting back to your identification that like I am the waker, I am the dreamer situation.
Right. True. So I do not know anything, but I was happy. I slept well. This memory of having slept well proves the presence of I, the experiencer, even in the absence of the world. Hence, the joy experienced is of one's own true nature. So what does it say?
So does deep sleep is leaving a memory? Is it leaving a memory of experience that I slept well, because of which we and then we liked it, and so every now and then I feel like, okay, let me go to bed so that I can experience that deep sleep state. So because we like that memory, are we going to deep sleep every time, or at least want to go to deep sleep state, or it is the true nature because of which like we are going there?
We are not, we are not going anywhere. It's not like by choice, right?
Yeah, I understand. It's a play of words. Rather than, and I could not put it in a better way, rather than use some words to even explain what I was asking. I know it is not by choice, but like we have to be in deep sleep, and I know all those terms that could be used better. But my point is it the memory of having a happy experience because of which we have to be in deep sleep, or it is our true nature because of which we have to we are saying like it is better to be in deep sleep? Like that's what I'm trying to say. Why can't we just be in waking state all through, right? Why do we have to have even a deep sleep state?
Good question.
I feel that there are a lot of things in our experience and life that we did not organize. Okay, whether it's waking, whether it is dream, or it's deep sleep, these are experiences that we just have. I don't, really have. I don't think any of us can answer why the world is organized the way it is. I don't think, why is it this way, right? But having come here and having experienced and experiencing whatever we are, I think the attempt is to understand how it happens. There are some places where why cannot be answered, at least at this stage. I think.
So Indira asked why even to go there? So why of the three avasthas, why has Bhagavan, why has Ishwar included this avastha, even though we are not doing anything, any transactions at all, right? That's what is the question is. Right? It is not useful at all actually. At least in Jagrat, I'm earning some money, I'm making out some livelihood, I'm enjoying things. Right? Why did Bhagavan give us that avastha?
My mother asked an interesting question. I just want to share. She's been reading Gurudev for a long time, and even her father. But she said, "Why all this? We have to be born, and then we have to try to realize, and then read and do good deeds. Why can't we all be born realized?" So I said, "You tell me next time. I don't know."
So what is the hidden message?
To answer Indivar's question, yes, we know that one in the body needs the rest. Anything that goes into these cycles of work and all that stuff, it needs rest in the Prakriti. So that's where we are telling that one in the nature, because of this combination of sattva, rajas, and tamas. We know that one, that the sattva is that pure state of knowledge, or the sattvika state, and in the rajas we are in the waking, we will be doing all these activities and all the stuff, and the tamas is the one that which totally where this I is also folded into prayena agnaha. This state is required for the sustenance of the body and the administration of this. The rest that which we experience every day. Once it is okay if we don't have a deep sleep state or good sleep. But if it happens for a couple of days, you might be knowing the pain of it. Anybody not experienced that? It is in our experience that it is required for the body to reboot itself. So that is one thing. But at the same time, the question is that this is where Vedanta has been relating these experiences to understand our own self in the waking state. So it seems like we are completely disconnected with the body and mind and folded into this darkness that I don't know. Of course, enjoying that as a memory afterwards. But during that time, I don't know anything. That is the experience, apparently, it seems. So Vedanta want to really go into that from the waking perspective, because you can't do this analysis either in the dream state or in Sushupti, because there this I is not in the control, as Manoj has indicated, and everybody in the Sushupti, we all experience it, that I am not there. What can I analyze the state within that time? So because the very Abhimani is called Prayena Agna because of that reason, that he is in totally that not knowing state. So what the waker can get out of it is the question. So that's where the whole life has been put into. The whole life has been really the cycle of this waking and dream and Sushupti kind of thing at the micro level and the macro level. As Manoj Dadima, I think, asked that question, why can't we all
Mother, not
wonderful question. But I think the question is that one, that if we can what is this actual being born? Is it different from waking up from this deep sleep, where we go into a potential state where we don't know anything? We don't know what is our caste, creed, religion, race, everything. And we have been again with the context waking up what I am, and I'm not going into others' house. This is my house or something like that. I will go through my house, and I know with all the context that who I am and all the stuff. The same way, the question here is how this longer period of time, that the transmigration that is happening from life to life, there are pointers here in this experience. There are there also what is happening when I get out of this body. Manoj mentioned that one, or Chandrasekhar also mentioned that one, that in other Shastras and all, it is indicated in the dream, you leave the body and go and experience and come back. There was actually, there are some prakriyas that which in Shankara Bhagavad Pada's life also, people say that Prayo Praveshaha, he leaves that body, what his body, and gets into a king's body to get some experiences and comes back to have that knowledge. It is given, whether it's happened or not, historically we don't know, but it has been mentioned there. So getting out of this body, out of the body experiences are immaterial, we don't know that. But how can we really infer them from this Jagrata Avastha? Vedanta paves the way into us to get through the Tarka, to get these stages that which we cannot experience right now, only we can see through the Shruti. If we understand this thread end to end, we are actually getting the Gnana, because all our 5 sense organs are giving this Gnana. There is nobody required to interpret this thing. We know with the eyes what is the color of the object. We know with the ears the sound. Like that with the 5 senses we know. And the 6th one is the Sabda Pramana or Shastra Pramana, which is also indicating something which is not in our Anubhava. Which is not, because the Swarga, it is told by the Shastras only. Naraka, it is told by the Shastras. All these 14 Bhuvanas have been told by the Shastras. I never have been there. But it has been quoting it. There are these different lokas and Adhisthana Devatas and all these people. And then it is also quoting about this Brahman, which is the Supreme Consciousness, which is you are that. But how do I really can transform from where I am, which I am not experienced with these things, never can experience with this body, with this mind. I cannot go to these lokas with this body. So the traveling of these lokas should be out of this body. And how that can be possible when I can see what the Shruti has been indicating with the Tatparya Nirnaya, and totally with these discussions get conviction to that, and then awake into that consciousness which it has been indicated is the only way where I can get that prama that has been completely shown by the Shastras.
True.
So these are the things that which are indicated as the pointers in these states to actually get into that state which we have been started. Chandrasekhar indicated some time back that this is what the starting point the Shruti has been indicating, but it is not our Anubhava. Shruti has indicated that one you are that Atma, Sachidananda, all the stuff, but we don't have that Anubhava. I feel that I am Kishore and you feel that you are so and so, that because of the grass body identification and identification with the Sukshma Sarira. But getting into this state where these identifications are not there gives such a pointer how I can be in the waking state also without identifying these 3 Sariras. I'll stop there.
Yeah, like Sridevi, Aparna, thoughts?
Okay. In your 2 things that you asked. One thing was, why do I yearn for this deep sleep state? It is from here itself. Aham kimapi na janami. I do not know anything. Sukhena maya nidra. I very peacefully sleep. All of us yearn for peace. So happiness I get by sleep. It's clearly put here. So that is the first question. Why we yearn for it is because you get bliss in that particular state. And whatever kimapi na janami, I do not know anything. I think in one of my previous classes also I said, why should I have the mind at all? Why can't I be just a tree? Why do we keep saying that the Manushyatam Jivam is the greatest? So again in this line it's saying, without the mind, you are actually at peace. But the second point that you asked, why should we go back to Nidra state? In Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, 33, basically even a wise man behaves in conformity with his own nature. Beings follow nature. So basically, Prakrite Jnanavan api. And he told, because of our three gunas, we are propelled, we are forced to get up and do our work. So although we love to have the deep sleep state, we are propelled to do it because of our three gunas which we have and because of the Prakriti that is there. Now, basically, what shall restraint avail? Prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. So basically, even if you try to control your senses, is it possible? Is what this verse gives. So 33 and 34. I have heard, I think somebody from Ramakrishna Math, he said about control of senses. I don't know whether it's relevant here, but since it's coming in this verse, I remember this verse we mentioned.
33, 34 is in a context given in a, of course, this context you can use the context of controlling the senses and then using your free will to control.
Basically, it also tells you something propels you to do your work in the waking state.
True.
That is where the first line is about the controlling senses. So I'm deviating a little because that incident was very nicely put.
Okay.
He basically said, why did Krishna go and tell the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna and not to Duryodhana? So basically, it seems he went and approached Duryodhana and told him these are the good things that have to be done and this should not be done. Then Duryodhana just put him aside and said, I know what is good. I know what is bad. You need not tell me all this. But something in me is forcing me to do this. It's not something which I want to do or something, but it is propelling me. So Swamiji in his lecture also said that force is there, but it is only in Manushyatam that you can oppose that force. You are given that much power to oppose whatever vasanas or whatever is forcing you to act in such a way, that is given to only the human mind and intellect equipment. So I thought I'll just share this because that lecture was so ingrained in me.
Yes, so inspired. True.
No, it's so beautiful, Rajni. Thank you.
So next, anybody? So nice, Rajni. Good points. So Bhagavan is giving us.
I think I got this second point. It's a good explanation. I still want some more points on first question. So is it the memory of experience of deep sleep, or it is our true nature because of which we are seeking for deep sleep?
Aparna, Sridevi, like to pitch in there?
Rajni,
both are related, no? That memory of I slept, I had a good sleep. So when you wake up, that memory that tells you I had a good sleep. So what is your state of mind when you wake up fresh with a cheerful mind? That itself is the expression that you had something you experienced, or maybe you have not experienced, but when you wake up, you come with that, projection that I have woken up fresh. My mind is fresh. I am joyful. You're ready to face the world. In spite of no transactions, no experiences, no mind, no intellect, like Bhaya said, no, which caste, which creed, which gender you belong, with no connections of this. In spite of that, I was happy in that state, that memory. Why was I happy? I did not have any external objects or transactions with the world, no sense objects, no sensual pleasures, nothing. Even after knowing that, in spite of that, when you wake up, you feel, yeah, that experience was good. I enjoyed that experience. There was something in that I again want to go back again and again to get that experience. So that connect, maybe we need to understand that memory part. What is that memory? Memory is that you enjoyed, you came out of it and you expressed that you enjoyed that state. So we generally share with the family members and we say, yeah, I had a wonderful sleep. I had, it was so fresh. I woke up fresh, had such an enjoyable deep sleep. So that experience probably will make you go back to that again and again. That is the memory, and this is my understanding. I don't know if I have answered your.
So
I
what
differ with your understanding. I differ because if that is the case, I want to go every minute. I think when I got a bigger problem, I want to go into deep sleep so that I can be happy. But I can't do that. My only question is that I think it is indicating a very profound point, but to really understand that one, it is not a will-bound thing. You can't enter into the dream state or into the deep sleep state by your will alone. Your will may be making you to prepare for the state. But I mean, you can't really, you don't want to running and have the deep sleep state. Okay, so you will be lying on the bed, making your body at rest or something like that. You may do the prayatna, but your will not take you to that state. So the question is that, okay, willing is something different. Getting into the transitioning of the state is entirely seems to be different. Do you agree?
You can take chloroform, you can have a lot of alcohol and will and then go to sleep. So I think I agree with you that it's not a choice per se that you can go into sleep or dream, but I don't know if you have enough time, but it brings up a larger question, which maybe next week or some other week is if I have a problem, I go to sleep, right? I can go to sleep and be happy there, but not resolving the problem that maybe I created or have seen. There is a concern in our psyche about what would happen, by not doing certain things. So if we don't care about it, should we not? That is where I have questions. We can talk later, but just by sleeping. For example, if I have enough money that whenever I wake up, somebody will feed me, and then I take some chloroform and go back to sleep, and then say whenever I wake up, make sure you feed me, and then I'll go back to sleep. So by doing this repetitive behaving, I don't really know if I'm exhausting vasana. This is
basically
deep sleep.
You want to experience Kumbhakarna state, is it, Manoj?
What I want to experience, I really don't know.
There are so many people trying that. There are so many people trying that, using alcohol or any kind of drugs to induce this kind of state. But this is not equivalent to deep sleep state. Please underline that one. Okay, that's what I think. Manoj is not the first one. There are, these kind of thoughts are there from so many people in the world and tried this thing.
Yeah.
And try to induce this state, failed.
Yeah, I have lot. When I went to Uttarkashi and all those places, there are so many swamis who are, doing properly and trying to fall asleep and get into that state. I've spoken to them, and that's a different story. I'm not talking about that, Kishore, but I think we don't have time. It's a larger discussion in
Yeah,
the sense.
it's 10:20.
Yeah, in
We
2
have
minutes, my kids will start knocking on the door. I said,
five
"What the
more
hell are
minutes
you
we
doing?
can.
Get out!"
5 more minutes we can go. Sridevi, any comments? So that question is answered, right? So of course, we remember that we had that sukham is there. But my question, Sridevi, is why can't, after I wake up, because we say we are merging into Brahman, actually, Shastra says we are merging into Brahman there. Jivatma equal to Paramatma in deep sleep, in fact. No difference at all. All rivers, no difference between Ganga, Godavari, everything merged in one ocean. Only after I wake up, I name Ganga, Godavari. So can't I that I am Brahman after I wake up? For that, what do we need? Bhagavan is giving us a clue in deep sleep that what you are seeking is there with yourself. That is your true nature. In Jagrat dream, you are making a lot of efforts to get to that nature somehow. But what you're seeking is what is with you only, is giving us the clue, but we are missing it. But how do I remember the fact I merged in Brahman in waking? See the questions to you. You're quiet. Because I think you are already merged in deep sleep, or are you on?
No. Actually, at home, maids are there. So that's why I was having my mask on. So that's why I didn't on the video.
Sorry. Okay.
So, yeah, I think the main point is here, as it is given here, it says the memory of having really slept well is because the experiencer is there in the deep sleep too.
Oh, the experiencer is there in deep sleep?
Yeah.
Is it so?
So that is why after I wake up, after I wake up, I know that I slept well because in deep sleep, I was there. Right?
I was. I means who?
I, the experiencer.
Okay.
So I, the experiencer, is there in deep sleep too, though there is no absence. I mean, though there was no world or anything, but still I, the experiencer, was there. So that is why after I wake up, I know that I slept well. Right?
Experiencer, just like I am experiencing you now with my eyes, with my mind, is that experiencer? Or who is that? Is that what the same thing? That same experiencer was there in deep sleep? No, it's okay. You can.
Yeah, the same experiencer. Yeah, it is the same, right? So whatever I'm experiencing in the waking state, I'm the same experiencer in the deep sleep also. The experiencer is the same.
Okay, we will continue. Okay, Indivar, is that what do you think?
I mean, the way that I understood was in deep sleep state, there is no experiencer. Only after waking up, because of that memory, the experience is coming that I had a good sleep. So that experiencer is different from the experiencer who is there in waking state and dream state. I mean, when we are saying that there is an absence of experiencer in deep sleep, but because of that memory, we are saying I had a good sleep. So that is a kind of an experience that is after the effect kind of thing. So the point I was trying to drive was knowing that in deep sleep we do not have any kind of experiences, and then we are feeling happy about that. And we also know that because of our trigunas, like Rajini told, that we are being propelled to get into waking state and dream state. If there is a way that can be, this deep sleep state can be extended into the remaining 2 states, maybe that is what Shastras are trying to indicate here. So that's kind of the clue that Vedanta is pointing to.
Okay, good. 10:20, 35. Any more comments? We will continue discussion. Who is the experiencer there, or how do we even recollect that? Is there any sukshma vritti that is happening? Because I was able to recollect still that I had a good sleep. Is that the same experiencer that is the same as in waking and dream, or is it somebody else?
Yeah, I think, yeah, definitely. I feel like it should be the same in all the states.
I is same in all the states, true.
You mean to say, yeah, you mean to say that Jagrata and Swapna is mine and deep sleep is somebody else's? I mean, if the experiencer is different.
Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah,
we can talk in the next week.
next week. Yeah, next week. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We'll end it here then. Anything else? Anybody? That's it. Om bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om Tat Sat. See you next week. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Yeah.
Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you.